sitting here making some baits for about an hour. Just decided to go live just to kind of show you guys the process. There's some people probably going to be jumping on here from a bait making group on Facebook, so they know what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But for you kids that are watching and want to see how the bait making process works, or any of the Bass Nation people that are following this channel, or anybody that just follows this channel just to follow this channel and support the youth, we appreciate it. So we're going to start making some baits. I'm going to pass the camera over to Thomas Heinen here, and he will, there's Thomas. He will videotape, and if you guys ask any questions, I have a iPad set up behind my bait making station, so I'll be able to see some stuff. Hey, Brothers Underwater Recovery, awesome job what you guys are doing finding cars and missing people, so appreciate you guys following along. So let me figure out how to flip this around. Awesome. I'm going to turn this down real quick. Alright, so I'll be able to see you guys' live chat up here on the screen. So if you guys ask any questions that you guys want to ask, say hi, say bye, whatever you guys want to do. But what we're doing today is we're making some green pumpkin black, which is a popular color. Sucks to have all this fancy equipment and have to make green pumpkin black, but people order green pumpkin black. It's like 50% of our orders, if not more. We're also making watermelon red, which is another popular color. So I'm rotating pots so that way I can reuse my scrap. Thomas can turn around and kind of show you what we've made so far today. Just kind of go over which baits we got back there. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw some plastic. I got green pumpkin black flake in the left-hand pot. I've got, I don't know, 9 cups in there roughly. It's filled to the rim, stirring up, and we're just going to pour all these molds. So Thomas will kind of show you the process here and kind of stay back just far enough so he don't get burned. We do appreciate everybody that watches this channel and subscribes to this channel. A little bit of money that we get from the ad revenue goes to help our Kansas Bass Youth program, which that program can be checked out at kansasyouthbass.com or on Facebook at KBNYF, which stands for Kansas Bass Nation Youth Fishing. We're going to blast through this 9 cups, and then I got a little bit of remelt watermelon from when we shot the other 2 batches. Most of these molds are going to be either Fat Guys Fishing molds or Angling AI molds. There is a few baitmolds.com molds in there as well. Got a lot more molds coming from Fat Guys. Got about 40 or 50 molds that I'm not even shooting today. Mainly shooting a lot of our creatures and worms. Brothers Underwater Recovery says, yes, good colors. And thank this for thanking him for what they do. Make sure you guys go over and follow his channel. If I remember right, he dives on cars and missing persons and found treasures. Kind of like the Adventures with Purpose guys. That is an awesome deal that all those guys are doing. Between them all, they've probably found close to 10 people and probably 500 cars or so.
Brothers Underwater says, where can I find prices?
You can go to Temptation Tackle on Facebook and then inbox me. I don't have my website up and going yet. Been a long overdue thing, but I bought a new warehouse, 12,000 square foot warehouse, and a new house. So it's going to take me some time to get that website done. I'm also the youth director for Kansas, so for Bassmaster. So, and own a leaf-free gutter business called K-Guard. So I'm a busy man. So one of these days I'll get my website done. Alright, so those 14 molds are shot. I'm going to shoot another 14 to the right, and I'm going to shoot all these ones in clamps as well. Is there any more questions coming through there?
Brothers Underwater says he'll definitely check that out. And that's it.
Looks like up here I have another question. John Chapman says, or no, not a question. Hi guys, sending you prayers. You're safe. We are safe. And I hope the pouring goes safe. I usually like to wear a mask while I'm pouring, but it's hard to go live and wear a mask at the same time. We're using the small shooting star today. It holds 8 cups on both sides. I just didn't want to burn any plastic because there's only 2 of us here working. If we had 3 or 4 of us here working, and my buddy Paul has the big shooting star over here, if you want to show him the big shooting star. That thing holds 2 gallons on both sides. If I had a third person here to help, we probably would have fired it up. But we've also got the pots pretty clean over there. So, wasn't really trying to run any more glitter through it until we shoot some swim baits. We're going to shoot some swim baits that don't have any glitter. And then there's something else that we had to shoot that doesn't have much glitter. Since I already ran watermelon in here just the other day. Last time I used the small pots a couple days ago. I didn't have to clean the pots, so that was another deciding factor. I did have to fill them up multiple times a day. But since I'm rotating colors and not doing laminates, it's not a big deal.
What's the smallest size swim bait you make?
2.5 Kitech style.
So this one right here?
Yep. That's a mist pour. The color was burned, more like a bone white instead of regular white. But that's the 2.5 right there. I also have a 3.3, 3.8, 4.3, 4.8, 5.3. Actually, I don't have a 4.8. Do not have a 4.8. And all my other swim baits are either fat impacts or like Bloodline from Angling AI, except for the Kitechs. So I do have other versions of swim baits as well, but when it comes to smallest, the smallest one I have is that swing impact style, the thinner body and the 2.5. Everything else is the fat impact Bloodline.
Jackson Opium says that's a Table Rock killer.
Which one? Oh, 2.5? Last year it was the 3.3 or the 2.8. 2.8, the fat impact 2.8 last year is what we wanted. 3.3s. But yeah, anything that 2.5 to 3.8 range is freaking fire on Table Rock, especially that straight white, white and blue, anything with purple in it. For some reason, those fish on Table Rock like that blue or purple.
Here's some of the Kitex they made today.
Ironically, those are for Smith Lake, the blue and white ones. Or the blue and white and silver.
Trying to imitate herring.
We do also have a new membership program, so if you guys want to become a member, a $9.99 member, the $9.99 goes to support the youth program, but my company, Temptation Tackle, donates a bag of baits to the club, or to the YouTube page, to give away for a $9.99 subscriber. And then if you go all the way up to $99 subscriber, you get 15 to 20 packs a month. And it'll be kind of like a mystery tackle box, a monster tackle box, stuff like that, where I'll pick random bags off the shelf and send them out at the first of every month. So all you have to do to get part of that program is go to the membership page here on our YouTube channel and pick which one you can afford. And like I said, the money is going to go to the youth program, and I'm going to donate my time in the plastic to help support the program. Any other questions coming across?
Brothers Underwater said, wow, them are awesome.
I appreciate it, man. I've got a good 100 molds here. Me and Paul are starting to combine our equipment over here, so we're probably going to end up having 150 molds, or 150 to 200 molds here hanging around. If you guys have not checked out Paul's Facebook page either, it's Brute Force Fishing. He's got some molds that I don't have, and I've got some molds that he doesn't have, and we're going to start combining some of our options so we can start ordering more molds.
Jackson Opium said he's counting down the days until March 13th.
You're telling me, man. I cannot wait to be at another bass tournament. Between running the youth tournaments and being able to actually go to my tournaments. Ours is at the end of March for the Open, so hopefully you guys will follow that along. I'll try to do some video content on the youth channel as much as I can that won't mess up my fishing, because I'm still not very good at that. Thomas will be going along as well, so we'll probably be practicing with me a few days of the week. And Josh Platies, he's traveling with us, Brandon Ackerson, so if you guys want to follow their YouTube channels, I'm sure they'll produce some content as well. It's Jay Platies, Thomas Heinen Fishing, and I believe it's Brandon Ackerson Fishing. So we're all traveling together. Hopefully we can do our little mini version of travel vlogs. Kind of show you what the Opens is all about on a more amateur level. It's me and Josh Platies' rookie year from the front of the boat. And then Thomas is going to fish from the back of the boat. And then hopefully next year Thomas will join us in the front of the boat. Show them some of the worms and stuff in the tray that we made. Go ahead and show you some of the worms.
Some Cincos here, some Ned rigs, some Dream Shots. What is the best place to get molds from?
That is a tough question. It really depends on what molds you're looking for. In my opinion, I'm having some of the best luck dealing with Kevin over at Fat Guys Fishing right now. He makes some really good molds. He takes some of your advice and actually runs with it, in my opinion. Angling AI is real good. They got real good shipping speeds. Bait molds over in I think it's the UK or Ukraine or somewhere over there overseas. They make some really good molds. Ultra Molds makes good molds. I mean, there's Do It Molds makes a good sandcast mold. That's actually the 6-inch Cinco mold here. My 5-inch Cinco molds are loaned out. Paul needed them last weekend for a tackle show, and since Cincos are so popular, he borrowed borrowed my molds. So these are ready to unmold. So let's kind of show you what they look like. We'll just kind of go through every bait that we have here. This is actually one of Brute Force's items, so you can get this one over at bruteforcefishing.com. It is a custom-made grub that he had designed. I believe you can actually order this mold now, because I think he gave up the rights to it so other people could order it. But it's got you know, little bumps and stuff on there. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Can you see that very well on there? Mm-hmm. So, but pouring a few of these up, and I'm just going to put these on a tray in a pile, and we'll hang them in a little bit after we're done with the live. But sorry, my shop's a mess, so we're just going to put a pile out there. Making a few of those for personal use. If you guys want to buy those, you guys got to go through Brute Force Fishing on Facebook. This is one of my molds.
Can you remount excess molding?
You can. So here's a mini brush hog. It's about 4.5 inches long. I'm making more of a transparent green pumpkin. Sometimes I make a real dark green pumpkin for people. It just depends on what they're looking for. I try to tailor my orders for people. I am going to start having a stock though of my recipes. So here's my Menace grub. It's a little two-tail Menace grub. It's real similar to Strike Kings. The only difference is there's a tentacle coming out the middle there. But other than that, it's pretty darn similar in the water. If you guys are wanting to get into mold making, World's Worst Fishing is a great YouTube channel to follow. Chris Jones over there does a phenomenal job. He shares recipes. This is my Ned Rig mold. Got a couple of these molds, but they produce so many I'm only shooting one bit just because I'm trying to give somebody a variety of baits. This is my, what do they call these, flatworms? Smallmouth crushers, basically. They're really hard to get right now from big box stores for some reason. So they're flat on one side. Real good finesse bait for smallmouth fishing or fishing offshore. Sure, it would be good shallow too, but this is the, I believe they call this the stinger mold on Angling AI. I'm not positive. Good thing about this mold is the tentacles separate here down on the bottom, so you can throw it as a straight beaver, or you can throw it more as a, oops, I ripped that one. It's the problem about taking it hot out of the pot there. So you can separate all the tentacles and get a little bit more crazy action out of it.
Do you ever add scent and salt to your plastics? If yes, how do you do that?
Yes, yes, and yes. I keep them in a spray bottle. If I'm going to scent them, you don't want to over scent them, so if I'm hanging them up, I'll let them hang to cure. If I'm laying them out, I'll just kind of spray the pan and let it kind of cure in there. Salt wise, I usually use about 1/4 of a tablespoon. Let me look at what my measurements are. I use 1 tablespoon per cup of plastic to get that 10.5 gram fall rate on my Cincos. I should say heaping tablespoons, because to get the 10.5 grams, it's got to be 10 pretty big scoops. So that's the same mold that we just showed. Some baits I don't put salt in, some baits I do. Today's order is all unsalted. Customer request. Some people believe in salt, some people don't. If you're not making stick baits and need them to be rigged weightless. You're not rigging weightless, you really don't need salt unless you believe it helps you catch more fish, in my opinion. There's the knuckle dragger on Angling AI's website. You guys are looking for Angling AI stuff? I definitely need more of those. One 3-pack mold. Paul doesn't have any. This is another Angling AI mold. I got a lot of Angling AI molds that we're shooting today. 6.75 inch trick worm. This mold can also be made as a flatworm on one side. I've got the other plate that turns it into a flatworm on one side. I believe this is like a 7-inch ribbon tail. It's an AI punch bug. A lot of people have caught the fish on that one. Back of a peewee jig or something. Or flipping and punching. Here's my 3 1/4 inch crawl. There's my bigger crawl, the 4-inch.
Have you ever considered 3D printing baits?
3D printing baits, yes. I've also considered buying myself my own CNC machine. I feel like I got about 25 grand tied up in this hobby. And there's the small beaver. I believe it's 3 1/4. It's the mini stinger. I've considered it all. Trust me. One of these days, when I quit wasting so much money on molds, I'll probably buy me a CNC machine. It'd be kind of cool to have. It's one of my smaller speed worms. I've got every size from 4 to like 8 inches, I believe. Really small finesse worm, drop shotting. Little beaver. I don't even know where I got this mold. I bought it from some guy that was going through a divorce, so I have no clue where he got it from. I usually don't even really shoot it. It accidentally got mixed into the mix today, so I just kept it going. Somebody will buy them. Blake, you mentioned where to get molds from. You live in Kansas City. You know right where to come. You've been here. I think this one's the 7-inch. Best place for you to get molds is just come on over. Anybody in the youth program, anyone wants to come and make baits. No reason to make your parents buy all this stuff. I think this one's the 5-inch, 5 or 6. All speed worms. I believe these all came from Fat Guys Fishing. Kevin Miller over there is awesome to deal with. Fat Guys Fishing 4-inch Cinco or trick worm. These ones are not salted, so they will not be a Cinco. They'll just be a stick bait. Another big chunky's mold. The next few are going to be the brush hog, the normal size brush hog. Another brush hog. That one's tails didn't go all the way through. See how they're flat at the end? That will go into my oopsie pile. And that's some of the stuff that I end up giving away to kids and stuff that come over. They still catch fish, but you just can't sell them. This one kind of did too. Need to vent this. I just got a couple more new ones. Need to vent them a little bit. good one. They usually shoot really well. This particular worm came from this mold came from Bait Junkies. It is a, I think it's what, about 8-9 inches, probably 8 ribbon tail. Don't have my tape measure over here. I know this one's 10 inches. This one's a 10-inch spade tail or diamond tail. I think it's called a diamond tail to be technical. This is from Fat Guys Fishing, 10-inch diamond tail. There's another diamond tail. Here's my new favorite chatterbait trailer. Jointed fluke. I believe it's like 3.5 inches long. Thing's got awesome action, almost like the Zako, even though it's not shaped like a Zako. And it's got multi-purpose. If you make them with salt, you can ring them weightless. And throw them weightless. And work it like a normal fluke. Here's the bigger one. This one's about a 4.5, I believe. I forget who makes this mold. I will try to look it up and put it in the description later for the replay of this video. You guys are catching this on the replay. We are live on YouTube right now, so I apologize if you are asking questions and we're not answering because you are on replay. Anybody asked any recent questions online? This is from Bait Molds. It is a pocket chunk, basically. A couple subtle differences to it, but it's almost a replica. This is real similar to the large Z-Crawl. This one comes from Bait Molds as well. Another large Z-Crawl. Bait molds shoot really well. The only issue with bait molds is it takes like a month, sometimes even longer to even get your stuff. This is another Bait Molds mold 3.3 paddle tail. A little similar to the Kitex. A little different, but super similar. Same thing. Regular size Z-Crawl or Z-Crawl mini looking. Not quite the same, but hold them up side by side, they're hard to tell apart. Don't even know who makes this mold. It's real similar to the Strike King race crawl. Came from somewhere overseas.
Do you do any variety packs?
I do. That's part of our new YouTube subscription deal. So you'll get a pack of baits. Sometimes you'll get a complete pack. Sometimes you'll get a variety pack. It's a mystery subscription, basically. There will be baits that are common. I'm not gonna give you bubblegum orange or something crazy. Another long ribbon tail. I believe this one stretches out to like 10 or 11 inches. But yeah, if you want a variety pack of Temptation Tackle, you guys can become a member. You got $10 all the way up to $100, and it gets you random baits from me. And the money doesn't go to me. You're donating money to the Kansas Youth Bass Fishing Kids. I'm just donating the baits. So 3.8 Kitech. How long have we been live?
31 minutes.
31 minutes. So we're almost done. We've shot and unboxed or unwrapped every single one of these molds. I got 2 more left after this Kitech. Or this brick swim bait. It's not a Kitech technically. But if we were running 2 people, this is how fast we can blow through 8 cups of plastic with this many molds going. And if we were running 2 people with no cameraman, it would have taken half this amount of time. We run 3 people, it basically cuts the time in the third, because you got somebody that's able to help unmold, somebody who's able to help hang, and I can literally shoot nonstop. I think the other day we blew through, I don't know, a gallon of plastic on each side, a dual color laminate. I think it took us 20 minutes. So 25, 30 minutes, something like that. Definitely wasn't more than 40. And they were all hung and on the wall, ready to cure for a couple days. So that's all the green pumpkin. I'm gonna go ahead and blast through a little bit of this watermelon. If anybody's got any questions before we jump off here, I'll shoot this watermelon while you guys are on, still on there.
This is the color he's shooting now. Watermelon red.
And normally before I start shooting this color, I'd be filling back up this pot. That way the rotation just keeps going. But we're done for the day. After these hooks. What's that? Long paragraph there. Love what you guys do for the youth. Keep up the good work and get out up here and get some work done. LOL. I'll be catching your next live. I appreciate what you guys do. Man, you're welcome. I appreciate what all you guys are doing too. You guys are bringing missing people home and stolen cars. Guys, make sure you guys follow those channels that are doing that, man. They're doing a lot of good deeds. Creating a lot of closure for families. I highly recommend subscribing to those guys. Chaos Divers, Brothers Underwater Recovery, Adventures with Purpose, Dan the Adventure Man, all those channels. They're doing some really good deeds. And hopefully we'll be able to do a good deed and help find Randy Leach, Josh Pleiades, or maybe somebody else. Who knows why we're out there fishing. Be alert. If you guys haven't checked out Josh Pleiades' most recent video, be alert in high percentage areas for where a car could have ran off the road. So make sure you're paying attention to your side scan and stuff in those areas. If you guys haven't watched that video, go check out Josh's channel. He does a real good job over his last 3 or 4 videos explaining the stuff like that. How to understand it on sonar, how to understand side scan, what a high percentage area is for bass or cars, but why it's profitable to be breaking down or time, smart on time, I should say, to break down smart water, whether you're fishing, diving, whatever. How far we can go with how many molds we can shoot, since this is the very end of the second batch, plus some remold. So we tore off all the sprues of the first 2 runs. So some of this plastic is actually remelted plastic. That's the other cool thing about bait making. Really, there's no waste unless you're shooting 2 colors. Showing my secret sauce. Alright, that's it. We're out of watermelon. I'll go ahead and top off this mold. Maybe I can shoot that worm here in just a second. Got a little 1 cavity worm down there. A 10-incher. Maybe I have enough to shoot it. Just gonna let it spin for a minute. Let it drain down. Mix any air bubbles out that I just put in there. But that's going to be it for us today. Thanks for following along. I appreciate you guys checking in. Every minute watched on this channel, every view counts for the kids, so that's all we're here for. Appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you guys soon.